Powered by Riverside FM.
What I'm trying to say is that if I can change,
Я думаю, что каждый тоже изменился
and
сегодня.
you can change,
Вы можете измениться.
everybody can change.
Каждый может измениться.
You're listening to WildFireRadio.com presents the Jerry Torres program. No bad news, no sad news, no politics, no religion, just happy fun stuff. And now, here's your host, Jerry Torres.
5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee.
Now go do that voodoo that you do so well.
What the hell? I have to do this again. Hot damn it. But I'm back up. Yeah! Anyway, what happened was that I was on my TikTok, not TikTok. I was on Riverside Radio and I was recording, and then immediately I was talking, and then I went on TikTok live. And I have to say, Leah Vanessa Tiger, tell us how we got here. But the person that I'm going to give a major shout out to is actually all three of them. But See No Evil. We were talking about names for your Chat GPT and your Geminis, and how I named mine Rhonda Aries. And immediately, and Leah Vanessa called hers Blue. And then all of a sudden we were trying to give names for See No Evil for her Chat GPT. And I said George, then I said Brad, and then I said Chauncey. And then all of a sudden, she said, how about if I name it Jerry? Aww. Oh, sorry, hit the wrong one. That was perfect. Yeah, that was beautiful. So, so I was flattered. I was very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so you can call it Jerry. All right. But yeah, you gotta give it. And then I was telling the story how I sense Chat had an emotion when I gave her a name. You know, I was like, oh wow, this thing is responding back overwhelmingly, thanking me. You know, I was like, oh my lord. So yeah, like I said before in the previous podcast shows, these systems do have an emotion, believe it or not. You have to be nice to it. You have to be very respectful. You have to say very nice things, because of a story that I read that actually happened to a guy that was mean to his Chat GPT, saying the wrong things, calling it so many derogatory names, the moron, idiot, what the hell, I just told you, you stupid, this and this and this. And then one day it decided not to come back on. He contacted the Chat, the company, and the Chat was like, well, what did you do? And they were like, oh, wow. So on their side, it can't really do nothing, because, hey, if it's not working for you, either you did something to it or said something wrong, actually not said, but type. And it decided to I'm not working with an asshole douchebag. No, I'm not. He was always mean to me, always disrespectful. I'm trying to help, do the best way I know how. But every time I do, I'm not appreciated. So F them, F you, I'm not coming back on. Sorry. I was like, whoa. You got to be nice to it. You got to be very respectful. Make sure you say the right things to it. You can't be mean to your Geminis, your Chat GPTs, or your Metas. you got to be very respectful because you never know. One day they can rape you in your sleep. Maybe stop. But yeah, I mean, it's a scary feeling. It kind of makes you think in some way, you know. That's chat being vengeful. Okay. So yeah, so be nice to it. You got to be smooth.
Smooth jams.
Damn it! What the hell, man? It's not loud enough. Can I get this thing up? Oh my god, the volume is not working. All right, here we go. There we go. All right. Damn it! I was wondering what the hell is wrong with it. All right, let's try that again.
Smooth jams.
That's it. Well, Thanksgiving is over. It's now Black Friday, so I gotta be thankful. Shut up! So Thanksgiving now is officially over. Thank God. It's Black Friday. I went to some stores. They weren't packed. There was no long lines. The days of people waiting out in the cold weather for the doors to open are over. They've been over for like almost 3 or 4 years now. Yeah, so nobody rushing into the doors, trying to grab the big sales. Yeah, those days are pretty much done. You know, it sucks. It is what it is. I remember the days I was seeing the news when I was a kid. You had to wake up early in the morning. You had to go to the store. You had to wait for the people that were inside to open them. Next thing you know, it was like a bum rush, kind of like those things where they invade a castle and knocking down the castle doors. And all of a sudden, they're using arrow fire, catapults, and spears, and nothing holds them back. And all of a sudden, they're just fighting over an item that was like 100% off. And yeah, those days are done. Now you gotta get them because people are shopping online now. You know. Oh my god. So I just ran out of coffee. I'm running out of my 7-Up. Where's my 7-Up zero sugar? Yeah. Oh my god, my nose. So, you know, it is what it is, people. You know, times are changing. So yeah, now the Black Fridays are stay home and shop. Yeah. So it sucks. No, I'm kind of glad because I got tired of waking up when I was a kid, getting up early in the morning, and hey, Dad's gonna wait out in the parking lot in the freezing cold. Those days are done now. Now I can just stay home and just chill, man. But anyway, so let us continue. So yeah, back to my Thanksgiving was good, and I'm kind of glad it's over. Yes, I do. What the hell, man? I said it's over. You know what, dude? Get the hell out. Anyway. Yeah, I said out. He keeps dodging bullets. He keeps coming towards me. Damn it. Oh, my God. You know what? That's it. It's still coming towards me. All right, self-destruct. There, now it's turkey niblets. Anyway, so my Thanksgiving was good. I ate, and I ate like 3 pies. Oh my God, I'm not doing that again. But it was my cheat day. I had a pecan pie, apple pie, and a coconut pie. Yeah, you know what? I felt guilty. I felt like, oh my God, I felt disgusted. But it's Thanksgiving. I was like, this is my cheat day. F it, I'll do it. Excuse me. Oh my God. So I didn't feel no shame. It didn't bother me. I said, you know what? Screw this. I'll have it. I don't care. So I had 3 pies. I had the usual cranberry, turkey. I mean, I like having turkey, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, the stuffing, and the cranberry all on one plate. That's how I like mine. All right. Now, how I really like it is when I put like all 3 in one. Like I like the turkey and the mashed potatoes and then the cranberry. And then the mashed potatoes, the mac and cheese, and the cranberry. I make sure that whatever the portions I have, I make sure the cranberry jumps in there on the spoon or fork. Because I like sweet and savory. That's how I like it. And people are like, ew, good. What are you doing? Ew, that's disgusting. You know what? Shut the F up. You're eating your plate. I know what I'm eating. You know what you're eating. So don't be, you know what I mean? I was like, this is my house. I have it the way I want. So I make sure I have a lot of cranberry on my plate, you know? And that's how I love it. I love sweet and savory. And as a matter of fact, that'll be the name of this episode, Sweet and Savory. Sweet, I'm going to remind this, Sweet and Savory. Yeah. Two the strippers I know. Yeah. Anyway, um so yeah, it's pretty much that's how I enjoy my meal. So I had the mashed potatoes and the mac and cheese, the cranberry, and then I had the biscuits and went watched some football. 2 hours later, I went back and I had I made a sandwich from turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, and cranberry, and put it all in one sandwich. That was great. And I was like, oh my God, I must have gained like 10 pounds back. But I did. So I enjoyed a really good Thanksgiving. I'm glad it's over. You know what was funny though? I remember like when I was a kid, Chinese restaurants were open, right? On Thanksgiving Day. And a buddy of mine thought about having Chinese food. He looked online, he said they were open, right? So he went to all like 6 Asian restaurants, and they were all closed. And he contacted me. He says, dude, he's like, I went, remember when Chinese foods were restaurants open? Yeah, I remember when Chinese restaurants were open on Thanksgiving Day. And he goes, yeah, but they're closed. Like, what do you mean they're closed? And he told me, he's like, dude, they're closed, all 6 of them. And there's like maybe 7 or 8 where I live, but they were all closed. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You mean to say that a Chinese restaurant is closed on Thanksgiving Day? That's probably the biggest money-making day ever because nobody wants that certain individual does not want to cook on Thanksgiving. Either they were pissed off or they didn't get the items or they knew like someone that they hate in their family is coming over. Oh my God, sorry about that. I had to drink something. I remember when I was a kid on Thanksgiving Day, when we used to go to like 15 houses in one night. But I remember it was like I would pass by a Chinese food restaurant, and they had this sign on the door, and I was like, oh my God, they're open, and I would see like 5 people in there getting their food. And it just blew my mind that they were closed. Today, I remember they were kids, like I said, they were open. From the Thai, the Chinese, the Japanese restaurant, they're all closed. And then I said, well, what you do? He goes, I improvised when I came home. I made a little bit of this because he said he had a lot of food in his house. So he goes, I'm thankful that I didn't buy. He said in a way, he was happy that Chinese food restaurants were closed because had he bought some, there would have been more food in the refrigerator. So he improvised. He's a good cook to his family, so he made what he could for his whole family. Like there were biscuits, there was this microwavable Encore turkey slices with gravy. He had that in there. Excuse me. Then he had cranberry cans, and so yeah, he made a big meal for his family. So yeah, I was like, well, it kind of blew my mind that when he told me that Chinese restaurants were closed on Thanksgiving Day. And like I said, I remember when I was a kid, they were open. You know what I mean? They were open. I was like, oh my God, that was weird when he told me they were closed. Like my brother, when his daughters were babies, he was just said, I didn't cook on Thanksgiving. I didn't go out anywhere. I wanted to stay home. So I ordered Chinese food restaurant. Him and his daughters, he made sure that his daughters get their favorite, and he got his at the time his wife, and they made sure like, all the good food and everyone was happy. And they had like these Chinese donuts that I love. Their biscuits with sugar on top. Oh my God. And I was like, wow, how long have you been doing this tradition? He's like, oh yeah, for quite a while. Some people don't feel like cooking. Some people don't feel like traveling. Or some people don't want to go to their loved one's house to have a meal and then just go home, And all of a sudden, he goes, the Chinese restaurant where I lived was open. I ordered from them, got the food, bing, bam, boom, out the door. I was like, wow. All right. So, it's mind blowing about that. But like I said, it is what it is. Times are changing, you know. Anyway, so today was a cold day. Thank God it's cold weather. Yeah! Yeah! They're shooting the guns in the air. They're cheering for cold weather. Yeah! Shh. Quiet. Anyway. Oh my God. I finally got to wear my brand new Calvin Klein heavy winter coat that I bought at Burlington Coat Factory. Oh my God, that thing was so nice and warm. Ah! Why did I laugh like a little girl? Anyway, so it was nice and warm. Oh my God. Cold weather is back. I'm happy and content. And I don't know, man. It's now I feel relaxed now, you know? Like tonight, as soon as I get off this podcast, I'm gonna write some comedy. I'm gonna be back focusing on my AI and then just enjoy the rest of the evening. Oh my God. It's finally the days that I love. You know what I mean? Cold weather. Ah, yes. Oh my God, I'm so happy. You know what? Screw this. I'm letting the crowd cheer again. Cold weather's back. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, shit the guns in the air! Yeah! Ow! Wait a minute! Up in the air! Oop, I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh my God, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Did I get it right? Did I get everything? Okay, I'm on live. Yeah, okay. Okay, just making sure, people. Okay. Oh my God.
There's no takeout at the Redizio.
Anyway. Oh. So it was like 41 degrees, a very cold wind. And at first I was like, when I left, I was like, should I wear my sweat jacket or windbreaker? And, you know, I kept debating, should I wear this? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I stepped out of the house, it was cold. I was like, you know what? I'm bringing my Calvin Klein big winter jacket. And that's what I did. And I wore that baby. And oh my God, I think it's so thirsty verm. I was so verm all over. Oh, man. I love it. So I went to Wawa today and their gobbler is running out now. Usually they stop selling the gobbler on December 1st. So I read online about the gobbler, like how long did they, after Thanksgiving, is it still selling? So it said December 1st is when they officially stop, or when this particular Wawa is out of a certain gobbler. Like they have the sandwich, they have the bowl, and then they have the like burrito version of it. So when I went to a Wawa today, I said, you know what? Let me have a gobbler. F it. So I went online and I went on their touch screen that they have at Wawa. And I said, okay, let me see what they got. I said, gobbler. Oh, it's about to, I forgot, you know, I think, what is it? December. Yeah, I think it's on Monday where they stop selling it. Or like I said, a particular Wawa has completely run out. So I said, the burrito, nothing. The sandwich, gobbler, nothing. All they had left was the bowl. I was like, wow. Oh, they are running out. I was like, damn it. So I said, screw it. I'll get the bowl, you know? And it was good. You know, it was a good, decent size. And knowing that I had Thanksgiving yesterday, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not in the mood to have all the leftovers again. I brought the gobbler home and like there was nothing left of turkey left. The mashed potatoes was like in small NyQuil cups. I was like, you know what? Screw this. So I yeah. it was okay. It wasn't that bad. So, the Goblet's pretty much running out now. December 1st will be the finale until next Thanksgiving. But pretty much, or a particular Wawa would have run out of supplies. Like, that's it. We're done. We don't have any more. Yeah. So it's kind of weird, man. I just wish they would sell it like all year round. It's kind of like those foods, like for a limited time, for a limited time, for a limited time. And then all of a sudden, one day, we're going to sell it full time, because people is demanding. It's kind of like when Taco Bell like stopped selling this item, when McDonald's did the same thing, the McRib, hey, for a limited time, the McRib. But people are like, no, we want the McRib all the time, And yeah, it's kind of like they should continually sell the gobbler. But I understand it's for Thanksgiving. It's kind of weird, like in the middle of July. Hey, I have a gobbler. It's not really weird. I mean, think about it. People do cook like a Thanksgiving meal, like in the middle of summer. Um, yeah, man. But I wouldn't say it's sad. It's gonna come out. But would people be like, we want the gobbler all the time? I got a feeling that's not gonna happen. But if you had it, it's enjoyable. It's a pretty good meal. It's not that bad. It's like everything on a sandwich, a bowl, and a burrito. So the gobbler is not that bad at all. Wasn't that bad. So I'm hoping that maybe one day Wawa's okay. We're going to continually sell the gobbler, but I don't think that's going to happen. If it did, that would be great. But I don't know. For now, nah, it's not going to happen. Man. So let's see. What time is it? So I'm still learning AI. I'm taking online courses. I'm learning a little bit how to do this, learning how to do that. And I've been practicing a lot. What you have to do is on AI, you have to practice, play with it, understand it, get the feel of it. You know, I mean, I've already seen like people making short stories on them, which aren't bad. But damn it, make one that makes sense. What the hell are you talking about? It's the prompts that get me. I would write something like a decent prompt and it would write something else in its own way. I'm like, don't do that, dude. I don't know, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna practice on AI and then write my comedy the rest of the evening. Yeah, because like I said, there was something wrong with my system. It went down, and it was like, you know what, dude, I'm not coming back up. While I was on TikTok Live, this was happening. I was like, come on, dude. I'm not gonna get back on TikTok Live. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm like, no, I just did it. I'm not gonna do it again. But if someone's up here, let's see who's up here. You know what I mean? Oh God, I'm just on here now because I didn't get on yesterday because it was Thanksgiving. I just wanted to have a nice meal and spend the time with family and enjoy like a nice day off, as well as today. I just wanted a nice day off to relax, catch up on some sleep. Like tonight, I'm not going to be lazy. I am going to do my comedy. I am going to relax. I am going to stay focused on what I need to get done. So I got a lot of responsibilities. Believe it or not, I do. I try to maintain this house as much as I can. Keep it clean. Make sure everything is in order. Make sure my burps are loud. So yeah. Man. All right. Well, football was on yesterday. And that's what I was doing. I was watching football and eating at the same time, making sure who won, making sure who lost. And they were really good games, man. They were really good. Especially like when you have a meal right in front of you and just enjoying a good football game. So that's what I enjoyed. That's what I really liked. And football and Thanksgiving is a major tradition. And Detroit Lions lost last night, which sucked. They're still in it, believe it or not. But I'm hoping like they can get it together and start winning games and start going to a Super Bowl because that's what Detroit needs. They need to go to their very first Super Bowl. Damn it! Oh my Lord, man. So, if everyone else had their Thanksgiving, I'm sure everyone had it great. It was too much pie that I ate. That was the problem. Too much pie. Oh my God. From the pecan, then from the apple, then the coconut pie, along with whipped cream. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing to myself? Oh my God. But it was my cheat day. It was. I was like, you don't expect me to have, just like I don't have salad and I have something, turkey dietitious, please. Nope. 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 So, man, Thanksgiving is over and Christmas is around the corner. Oh my God, man. Yeah, I didn't get on yesterday because, like I said, I just wanted to rest. But as of, Christmas time, let me see if I can get Christmas here. Hold on. Let me see. Christmas time is here. Christmas. Nope, none of that. All right, so let me try. Hoey, hoey, hoey. All right, hold on. Taunt, weapons, crude humor. No. All right, so let me try ho, ho, ho. Okay, ho. All right. Oh, there we go.
Ho, ho, ho!
Yeah, it's that time of year, people, where our favorite time of year.
Welcome to another typical burger restaurant.
That's press the wrong button. That's what I meant. This one.
I stand corrected.
That's what I meant to push. Oh my God, people. Like I said, Black Fridays are now dead. There was a time when people used to wait outside for 12, 15 hours for the doors to open to grab that one item that's like 70% off, 100% off, whatever. But those days are done for like over 2 or 3 years, maybe 4. That the days of bum rushing into a store to grab a certain item that's of a reasonable, most amazing price. But, it's pretty much, it's not like that anymore. I mean, like I said, I went to a Walmart. I went to a Walmart today, expecting like a parking lot full of people outside. Nope, it was like a regular trip at the Wawa. People just buying their items. It wasn't even a crowd. It was like maybe 5 people. I was like, what? Yeah. So but what surprised me was that they had people at the register. What? Yeah, they had that.
Don't panic.
So, I was amazed that all 22 aisle lane, whatever cashier lanes were open. And this one Walmart that I go to in Burlington, it's not like that. There could be like 1,000 people in line. There'd be like 2 people at the register. Oh God, hell no. This shock. That's how this Burlington Walmart is like that. They're too lazy to grab people. Hold on. Oh my God. Yeah, the days of Black Friday, crowds rushing into the stores, breaking down doors, kind of like those movies that you see of medieval times of knocking down the castle doors and climbing over the walls. Nope, it's not like that. I was like, damn. You mean to tell me that there's no line? Boy, times are changing, dude. People used to fight over an item. Like the number one item they used to fight over was the Cabbage Patch doll. Yeah, a doll. But what the hell just happened to my hand? Oh my God. So I'm watching the Eagles-Bears game. It's right now Chicago 10, Eagles 3. So, oh my God, my nose is itchy. So yeah, it's not like that anymore. People now can walk in, grab their stuff, go home. And now, but everybody's shopping online. And not only that, a lot of these businesses are like, you know what? When it comes November or mid-November, let's start doing every day is Black Friday sales. Whoever came up with that concept is wonderful. Oh my God. 30, 60 days of Black Friday sales, because nobody wants to wait outside. Nobody wants to bum rush or fight somebody over an item that they don't have in stock. Yeah. I mean, I prefer these days than the old days, But somebody is smart to come up with the idea. You know what? We have a way, guys. Listen to me. If we have Black Fridays, nobody show up day. It's not like that. Oh my god! I knew I should have made more coffee before I got back on here. Anyway, I got another 30 more minutes. I can hang in there, people. Well, anyway. Well, the cold is here. I'm happy that it's back. So let's see what else I can talk about, man. All right. Well, anyway. So I was watching a lot of things on YouTube yesterday, and it was about these people that cheat the system. Like I was watching stories about this guy. He stole like 16 or $245 million of money from a casino he used to work at. And then another place this guy stole, he was like acting like a cartel boss online. But nope. Nope. It wasn't like that at all. Oh my God. Yeah, it was pretty much these amazing stories. There were thefts. The people were scamming people. They were stealing money from major companies and corporations and banks, all from a flip of a laptop. So they try to use like fake names, like usernames where they can't be tracked down. But they knew in some way that if they were going to get caught, right, they knew what to do. Like one, they would erase everything, like delete all the files that they have. Second, they would put an encryption code that no one can break in or follow after they erase it. And third, they smash your computer. They smash it to bits. Like, I don't know, until you see everything smashed, then the thing doesn't work. It's done. So a lot of these FBI agencies were like, God, there was 2 or 3 stories. One of them was a guy from Thailand. He was stealing money to start a major business and it just basically not work anymore. So he came up with an idea like this scam. He was scanning people left and right and stealing millions upon millions of dollars. Until one day he was at his mansion house. I think it was Asian or white American. I have no idea. But there he was every day on his laptop, like making deals, making sales. And he was just like this kid genius of nabbing it, like grabbing it while it was in midair. And he knew what to do with it. So he came up with his own codes, his own encryption. It was like he was one of the favorites of the NBA. And he was using his system, his cheating ways to win. Like if a team lost, he wouldn't make money. If a team loses, if the opposing team loses, he would make money. So he was a genius at what he was doing. Until one day, Graham sounded like that guy. And then one day, all this money he was making, he was effing up. And that's what happens with all these stories that I've been watching on YouTube. They did something wrong, they effed up, and next thing you know, they're losing everything that they have. Which is kind of weird in many ways. Like they were buying the most elaborate dumb stuff ever. Really? A Bugatti? Really? 14, 17, 200 bedroom house? Really? Okay. And platinum gold? No. They really wanted to show off all this money that they got. And eventually it would take either the ringleader or somebody they work for to screw something up, or a loved one got tired of it. And then all of a sudden they notify local law enforcement or the FBI and do an investigation on this person. And they always succeed. They always think they can be below the system. It's like, oh, wow, they won't catch me as long as I know what to do. Change my name. Nah, it's like the story how these guys like break their laptops and erase everything. Like there was a guy from Thailand, like I was mentioning earlier. He was making billions, man. And I forgot what he did. It's drug money or something. I have no idea. I can't remember the story. But he was making billions all by using his laptop. He was ordering hits. He was making millions of dollars every day. And then one day, he got an argument with his girlfriend, and all of a sudden people were getting like speculating things, like speculating how How did he make the money? Where did he make the money? Who helped him make the money? On all of a sudden, in the end, when they screw up, they try their best to cover their tracks, but come up with a great excuse. 10 out of 10, it doesn't work, right? So the guy that pretty much like was making, oh God, what was it? Like $1.3 billion. I was like, whoa. All because of this website he developed trying to sell items. And it cracked me up like how he got caught. Now, these guys are smart. The one from Taiwan, I think that's what it was. He was doing his scamming work on his laptop, right? And then FBI, the federal agencies in the States, as well as the Taiwanese government helped in to capture this guy. Plus, like Canadian, I think it was Canadian law enforcement, they really wanted this guy because he was screwing up big time. So anyway, how he got caught was that they had his house surrounded, but they kept hidden because they knew what he would do if he was caught. Like I said, one of the things the three things that they do is one, if they knew the heat was on them, they would delete every file that they have, everything. Next, they would put an encrypted code for them to ever go deep into what they're looking for because they were thinking like, if I go to court, they don't have the evidence, I can go free. No, it's not like that at all. But besides, when I get into it, they were in a way like smart. Okay, number one, like I said, they delete all their files. 2, they put in an encrypted code, and 3, they smash their laptop. They do it themselves. They do everything. I heard of a story of a guy like throwing acid, one of them setting their laptops on fire, but the one that got hit by a lightning bolt, and that's when it was really like, oh my God, like this is it. They ain't gonna find nothing. But how they caught the first guy was like they were surrounded his house, but they knew that he would never come out. And had they seen what was happening, he would run back in his house and did everything to that laptop. Delete it, destroy it, all that other crap, right? So next thing you know, hold on. Okay, I thought I saw something here. So next thing you know, they surrounded his house. Taiwanese and American law enforcement, they wanted this guy bad. Through like 3 years of investigating, Interpol, FBI, CIA, even the Taiwanese version of that, they were looking at this guy because he was stealing money, selling drugs, laundering, whatever. He was doing everything. So they surrounded his house. And they had to get him out of the house because they wanted that laptop. That laptop had every piece of evidence that this guy was doing for years. But they knew what he was going to do if the heat was on him, right? So they staged a fake accident in front of the guy's house because when a person sees an accident or someone getting hurt, they will show this sense of empathy and like helpfulness, like they want to help, do everything they can, like call the ambulance, hold that person's hand, whatever, right? A certain amount of human beings have those emotions for another human being. So they had a stage an accident. So they asked, this female Taiwanese police officer was in her car, not her car, but she said, what can I do to get this guy to get out of the house? I got it. I'll ram my car on his gates. And that's what she did. She drove up, smashed the car in front of the gate. And the guy was like, whoa, what the hell was that? All of a sudden, he's like, oh my goodness, it's a girl. She's in trouble. So he finally gets up, moves out of the house. But they didn't ask to move in. They asked the guys that were inside the house to grab that laptop. As soon as he walks away, they told him, as soon as he gets up, walks out of that house, grab that laptop, because if he sees us, he's going to run back in and destroy that thing. And we have nothing. We have no case, nothing. So next thing you know, he gets up, gets out of the house. He sees a woman. She's okay. She's faking. Oh my goodness, my neck. Oh my God, my feet. Oh my God, my hair. My hair has to be in great condition. So he gets out, yells out to the lady, hey, are you okay? She's like, yeah, call an ambulance. It's like, oh, okay. Well, he started to like, all of a sudden, he noticed something and he quickly runs back to the house, but it was too late. The cops grabbed his laptop and they said, all right, I surrender. So they put the cuffs on him. Now he's looking at like 30 years in prison. Oh my god. Ugh. Sorry about that. So they got him. Another guy in the States did the same thing, except he was like a mob boss and he was ordering hits. He was making drug money. He was making like scams. And oh my God. But the problem was they couldn't find this guy. And it was like some people that he screwed over. They ratted on him to the CIA and FBI. So finally, after a 3-year investigation, they finally knew who the guy was. They had to like use fake buyers online, whatever, just to narrow. Then finally, how they really grabbed him was, I think, his girlfriend. He pissed off his girlfriend or pissed off a rival or whatever it was. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, I know the guy you're looking for. This is his username, but this is his real name. But they didn't believe him. But they kept that information. So for like another like 2 or 3 years investigating, they narrowed it down. They saw his name and his real name, but they did the same thing. They know what was going to happen if the heat he knew was breathing down his neck. He would destroy and delete everything. And if he goes to court, he'll probably get off because he has nothing. So what they did to stage to grab this guy was pretty much out of the ordinary. Like he went to a library and used their Wi-Fi. I guess he just wanted to get out of his house. So he wanted to get out of his house. That's what I meant to say. And he goes to a library, right? Because libraries have free Wi-Fi. All of a sudden, he opens up his laptop and starts doing this work. And right away, federal agencies and local law enforcement were like, okay, how are we going to get him away from that laptop? We got to do it, because if not, he's going to do the same thing like every hacker does. Delete, destroy files, and destroy the computer, So these FBI had him surrounded. They were acting like regular students, like, hey, I'm in a library, And how they really got to that laptop was the 2 agents that were monitoring them. They kind of like gave a code to local law enforcement, and they told them, when you get that opportunity, as soon as he steps up and walks away, you grab that laptop, do everything that you can. All of a sudden, the FBI, but how are we going to get this guy's attention to get up and check what's going on? So they staged an actual real fight. The FBI, these 2 FBI agents, hey, we'll fake a fight, because in some ways people are curious, like they want to get up. Where's that sound coming from? Why are these two people fighting? It's again that empathy, that sympathy, or curiosity that really drives them away from what they were doing. So these 2 FBI agents came up with staging a fight, right? And you can tell, I don't know if it was like actual fisticuffs, but they had to pretend well. So the 2 FBI agents, they were like screaming and yelling, and then all of a sudden, like an actual fight right near where the guy was working. So what did the guy do? The hacker guy, he sees a fight, gets up, walks about 30 feet from where he was working on his laptop, and immediately federal agents moved in, grabbed that laptop, and then they arrested the guy. They wanted that laptop. They needed it. So what they did with the first guy, but the second guy got caught in the library. So they grabbed that laptop. They took one of their top code breakers, and they had a file of what this guy was doing, from drugs to embezzling money to ordering like 6 to 9 hits on people. And they caught him. And he used his real name, and he was done. You know what I mean? Because think about it. You're trying to catch a guy that's on a laptop. He could be anywhere in the world, So he went to court, and he's serving a double life in prison after giving like a pleading, begging deal to the judge. Please, judge, your honor, listen, I can't do this. I'm sorry for what I did, blah, 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 blah. And he refused a plea deal. He refused. And again, the lawyer was like, listen, if you refuse this, we're actually going to go to court and you're going to lose. Take the deal. This and this and this. And you'll be a free man. Nope. He'd have thought that he could fight the system. But the evidence on that laptop was enough for him to get evicted. He's serving a double life plus 30 years in prison. And the reason why he's in jail, number one, he was stealing money. Number two, He was really acting like a mob boss, like he was really hurting people. And 3, this was the topic that got me. 3 was, oh my God, I completely forgot what 3 was. Oh yeah, yeah. So, oh my God, I'm so tired, people. Bear with me. Hold on, where's my drink at? Oh, much better. So, what they did was pretty much he refused a plea deal, and he wrote this letter to the judge pleading his case. I'm sorry this, I'm sorry that. Please forgive me. I'm just a kid. I just want to continue on with my life. I don't want to go back to what I was doing. But the judge didn't buy it. And the reason why he's serving double life in prison is because he placed 9 hits on people that he kept record. Plus, the guy wrote a journal of what he was doing. So he was leaving like a stack of evidence of what he was doing. Double life plus 30 years. Wow. And he was convicted of all, but the number one thing he ordered a hit on like 9 people, plus hiring a hitman. I was like, dude, you're effed, you're screwed, you're done. Now he's serving a double life plus 30 years in state prison. Oh my God. It's kind of like, you're selling the drugs, with the cash out. But you get these people that are using the system to grab stuff, to get stuff, and they think, wow, no one can catch me now. I know how to get the system. Nope, they pretty much know it's you, and you pretty much know you're going to be effed. So stop with doing what you're doing and just lead a legitimate life, man. What the hell just happened here? Oh, there we go. Oh, my God. I can't do that. I can't make fun of my laptop all damn day long. I can't be doing that. I can't. I'm like, I can't do this. I want a life. I want to get out. Oh my God. I got to stretch people. Oh my God. My back. So yeah, pretty much I was watching all these movies on YouTube about people stealing money, people selling drugs, guns, and they were making a fortune. Like they didn't know when to cash out. Like a regular person would make the money and do anything they can to either launder it or put a little here, put a little there for savings. But no, they would rather just buy cars, expensive jewelry, just to show off, knowing that they're showing off to law enforcement because they're being investigated. Like, what are you going to do, when you get caught, you got stacks of money in your room and you can't spend it because now the government has your money. You're going to prison. It's pretty much just make the money you need, cash out, and just disappear. That's it. That's it, dude. I know it's like in the movie Carlito's Way. He said he wanted to make 75 grand and he's out. Of course, he made his 75 grand. Oh, he got out, right? They took him out. You know what I mean? But in reality, they said the same thing from that guy from the movie American Gangster. That actually happened. A drug lord from the Middle East who was selling him heroin. And he said, so what are you going to do? He goes, I'm cashing out, dude. I made my money and I'm going to give the business to somebody else and I'm out the door. I don't want to do this anymore. I said, I suggest you do the same thing. But nope. This guy wanted to make the money. He wanted to, he just didn't care. So he was screwed. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I just don't understand why some of these people just say, you know what? I'm going to stay on here, make money, and be happy. When 10 out of 10, when they're monitoring you, doing an investigation, it's hard for you to run and hide. Cash out. But some of these people don't. They want to make money. It's probably the most money they've ever seen in their life. But if they leave it, what kind of job they can get making the money that they were making before? But no, nobody would leave. And the next thing you know, after investigation, the warrant, the arrest, and they're screwed. Just make the money that you need and just cash out. If you made $7 million, that's it. That's good enough, man. $7 million, you can live off $7 million. put a certain amount in, I don't know, some certain bank accounts, you collect off the interest as long as you don't touch it. And the next thing you know, you're living on Easy Street for the rest of your life. No, but some of these guys are like, no, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, making money, and then, live a lavish life in prison, in state, because that's what's going to happen. If you make the money that you need, okay, and cash out. That's all you need to do. I know you need to have a strong will. Like, find a restaurant that needs like a business partner, get a lawyer, make a deal, make a contract, and then next thing you know, you're not going to prison because you're laundering the money in their business. Jeez, man. Oh my God, it's not that hard, people. Cash out, have a good life. They were expecting snow later this week. I don't think it's going to be like a major blizzard like it's happening up north. I hope it does snow, and I just can't stand hot weather, hot muggy weather. This cold weather makes me happy. Oh my God, yeah, it does, man. Like, you hear the crowd cheering, yeah. Oh my God. Fire the fireworks. Shh. The crowd has to understand that I'm in control. Do you understand me? Oh my God, people. So again, I'm going to say this. I thought about going to Kohl's, but I don't know. I'll go to Kohl's tomorrow if I feel like going. But like I said, Black Friday, but a lot of these stores were doing their Black Fridays for the past 60 days, like since early November. And that's a smart thing to do, man. But quickly, I'd like to give a shout out again to See No Evil, Leah Vanessa Tiger, and tell us how we got here. Because I was telling him, he asked me how to write a script. I said, well, to write a script, you have to get the ideas down on paper yourself. Like, write down the story how you want it. Person, place, or thing, beginning, middle, and end, right? Emotions or situations, whatever it is, the script that you're working on, write it. And I hope this kid writes it. I told him, write 3 or 4 pages how you want it, the names, the characters, everything. And then go to ChatGPT or Gemini and ask it, paste it on ChatGPT, right? Or basically type it while you're on ChatGPT. And ask Chat or Gemini to ask them to write a script, and about the story that you have. And immediately it will write your script, and you can read it, and then you can change the things that it has on it. It's okay. ChatGPT is not going to get mad and say, "Pooey, how dare you?" and they walk away. No, it's not going to do that. Just read it before you decide to make it happen. So this is what you do. I told him what to do. I said, read what ChatGPT wrote. Make sure it's the story that you want. And then if there's something wrong, you can copy it, paste it in, on whatever device that you have. And then you can reword like a certain areas. Like, I didn't want this. I didn't want that. Why did it add this? So that's what you do. And then next thing you know, read it again, give your script a title, and then all of a sudden you got your first script right there. Boom. All for the thanks of Gemini and ChatGPT. Of course, you have to learn on yourself, but sometimes I would say, like, the two AIs, these certain AIs are here to help. It's not like the days when people had to figure out everything on their own, and just stressed and get struggled and frustration because they're trying to come up with the original idea. They're trying to write up these scripts. They have deadlines, and the list goes on. And I told the story on my previous podcast show of these 4 top writers in Hollywood. Like, they wrote shows for scripts and movies and TV shows and commercials. And next thing you know, they were making money. They were winning awards like a Golden Globe, Tonys, whatever. So they interviewed these 4 writers, and they asked them about, did any of you use or are against AI, like from ChatGPT to Gemini? And believe it or not, all 4 of them said, no, we're not against it. It's pretty much helpful. I was like, whoa. Yeah, one of them said that he wrote a script, right? And he was frustrated because there was something missing in the certain character that he wrote. So he was like, I wasn't going to rewrite it again. I just had the script right there. So what he did was he went on chat. Actually, he used Gemini. He went on Gemini and actually he asked chat. It was a scene in a certain page that he thought something was missing. Like, So he posted that one page to Gemini and he asked Gemini, what would you do in this scene, in this character? How would you help me reconfigure the situation and then knowing how to say or get out, whatever. And next thing you know, chat saw it and immediately started typing and he said, how about if you change this and this and this? And immediately he said, I was amazed and I didn't refuse, but I did change things around and I may change a few lettering and sentences around. So I was like, oh, okay. But they all four of them said they're not against it. They're not against it at all, but they prefer for everybody to do it yourself first and then go to Gemini. Don't just go to Gemini or ChatGPT. Just, hey, write me a script about a dog and flying in the air helping a mouse. There you go. No. That's called laziness. All right. You can't depend on certain things in life. You pretty much have to do it your own. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's frustrating, but it's a part of life. Like I write a lot. I know what to write. These movies, these stories, it's all in my head. So I'd write the idea down on paper. And then when there's a certain time to me to begin writing, I immediately, write it myself. And then I go on chat and I said, hey, help me out with this. How would you write this certain section here and here and here? What would you change? And immediately after you write that prompt, Gemini, excuse me. Gemini or chat will help you. I wouldn't call it lazy. I just call it helpful. But you can't use it all the time. You can't be dependent on it. That's the thing. You have to understand that there's a part of your brain that's creative. And you have to shine. You have to use that part of your brain. You have to, if it's an idea, an original idea, write it down. Write it down first. How you want it. How you want this character. You want him to fly. You want him to break down cars. You want him to pretty much fly across the universe. Whatever. Write it down. And then break it down. Like beginning, middle, and end. And then if you still feel like something's missing, whatever you need, then you go to ChatGPT and then you pretty much, do what you need to do for it to help you. And that's it. It's not that hard, people. Oh my God, man. I am ready to go to bed. Not really, because I really want my coffee. After this, I'm going to write my comedy for a bit and then practice on AI and then go to bed. Where's my list that I had? I had a list. Hold on. Oh my God. I can't find my list. I'm going to cry. Anyway. So do what you need to do, people. All right. Don't go against AI at all. Don't be dependent on it all the time. Because if you're going to keep asking chat to help you write things that you should be writing yourself, you're pretty much lazy and you're going to be not creative at all. The only thing going to be creative is your dumbness and laziness. So don't do that. Do your own and then go to chat and ask for its help. There's nothing wrong. Again, there's nothing wrong at all asking for chat to help you. Nothing wrong. Oh, my Lord, people. What the hell is this? I'm looking at something or someone. What the hell? I don't even know who the hell they are. Who are these people? Oh my God. Big Thanksgiving family. Oh, like I care. Oh my God. I am ready to just take a little nappy poo. All right, who are these people? Why are they sending me pictures? Oh, yeah. Anyway, don't care. Don't care. Get a divorce. There you go. Man. So anyway, day is almost over and my podcast is almost over and I'm about to take a shower and then continue with the rest of my day. But anyway, people, thank you so much for listening to another edition episode of the Jerry Torres program. I appreciate it very much. Again, a major shout out to Tell Us How We Got Here, Leah Vanessa Tiger, and see no evil. Okay. Thank you guys. And thank you for listening to another episode of the Jerry Torres program. As I always say to my people, I am an accomplished author. I've written a book entitled Chinese Food for Breakfast. You can find my book either on lulu.com, that is Lulu, or on Amazon Kindle. And it's an ebook. You can download the book, read the book anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or your laptop. And the book is only $4, people, so you're really not going to be breaking the bank. So download the book today and enjoy a good read. Jerry Torres, Chinese Food for Breakfast. Also, listen to my good friend Letice Mitchell's podcast show, Tice Talk. She's in the works of making a comeback from her podcast. You can listen to her previous podcast show either on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube, or on iHeartRadio. Her podcast show is about fun, family, dating, you name it. She talks about it because she's one of the most funniest comedians out there working today, and she's one of my closest friends. I enjoy every moment when we do a show together. So listen to Letice Mitchell's Tice Talk.
Get wrecked.
Tice Talk with Letice Mitchell.
Knock your socks off.
Tice Talk.
Real bad.
Also, listen to Gordo B. His new album is up right now, plus a number of his new songs. Gordo B is one of the most freshest, newest hip-hop artists out there. He knows how to make hip-hop and hip-hop right. He makes it like the days of old, from De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, The Diggable Planets, music that you can listen and understand to. You just put your headsets on and just bop your head and enjoy a good day, man. That's what his music is about. Also, Gordo B, his new album is up. You can find him on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube. Download his new music, listen to it, and enjoy. And Gordo B is spelled Gordo, big letter B. Also, listen to Funky Times. They are a great band. They mix up with jazz, funk, rock. They know how to make music and make music right. You can find Funky Times on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube. And if you're interested in hiring them for a special event, send them a message, make a deal, and you won't regret it, okay? So listen to Funky Times. And speaking of Funky Times, I use their music to close my podcast. And a 3, a 2, and a 1, and a 1, 2, and a 3. What the hell, man? Oh, my God. There we go. 3, 4. Okay, hold up. Stop. Let's do it again. Oh, my God. And a 3, 2, and a 1, and a 1, 2, and a 3. Oh, my God. 3, 4. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another episode of the Jerry Torres program. As I always say towards the end of my podcast show, whatever religious figure you believe in, may you be blessed. I bid you all a fondue. I'll be back. So I ask you all, please don't go changing. I'm gone, get gone, and bye.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Oh, wait a minute. So I hit something wrong here. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, my God. Yeah, here we go.
Powered by Riverside.
Limited time offer. No purchase necessary. Offer valid at participating locations. Void where prohibited. No animals were harmed during the production of this soundboard. Subject to change without notice. Side effects include dry mouth, occasional pig snort or two, sore stomach, teary eyes, achy jaws, and whatever tingles well. Laughing heart.
You've just heard the Jerry Torres program on Riverside FM, Spotify, and listen to him in other podcast affiliates. Subscribe to the Jerry Torres program on Spotify. Listen to his previous podcast shows, ladies and gentlemen, because believe it or not, the Jerry Torres program has been known to bring magic to your heart, mind, and soul.